2023 is going to be the worst year ever for retailers, and the numbers show a world of a difference. Some might say that it's not a huge deal, but when your business has been entrenched into a local economy for almost a century, it is alarming to think that you're closing stores. Do you guys have any clue which stores are actually going to be closing this year? As if that wasn't enough, more data is coming out that wealth has been unevenly distributed during the last few years. Shocker, right? With the very top of the food chain making most of the money and keeping the wealth to themselves. Was this the plan all along? Whatever happened to that trickle-down effect? Is this why the lower and middle class continue to borrow on credit cards? Why those on fixed income like Social Security, SSI, SSDI, they're struggling even with the increases for 2023? Or is something else to blame for all of our economic problems nowadays? Also, the food crisis is a problem that not many will be able to avoid. And if you're watching this video, it might be the very best time to prepare. Now, before I continue, please take a second, smash the like button for the video. Definitely helps out with the YouTube algorithm. And if you're in need of your daily dose of the truth when it comes to US economy, the stock market, Social Security, the housing market, and everything that's going on in Washington, D.C. that affects our lives, our families, and our bank accounts, go ahead and subscribe to the channel. Also, if you own a home, make sure your home is protected. Get your free home warranty quote. The link is down below this video. The world is unequal in more ways than one. I don't think I have to tell you guys that. A study from Oxfam International has revealed that the richest 1% of people, those at the very tippity top of the scale, well, they amassed almost 2/3 of the new wealth created in the last 2 years. All right, I gotta sit down for that one. Oh wait, I'm already sitting down. 2/3 and what? We printed trillions of dollars, and most of that went to people who already had money to begin with at best. All of this free money was a ruse, and only those at the very, very top benefited from it. Some of us may have gotten a good deal, especially if we watched our expenses. But for those who got free money and suddenly went on a vacation, put their wants before their needs, these people are going to be in a lot of trouble as credit card bills start to catch up. Doesn't matter which card it is, MasterCard, American Express, Visa, it doesn't matter, guys. You're on the hook, and all they have to do is pull. It is a completely sad situation for many households. And for context, the data shows that a billionaire gained roughly $1.7 million for every $1 of new global wealth generated by a person in the bottom 90%. Yeah, go ahead and digest that one for a second. The executive director of Oxfam said this about the numbers, quote, "Taxing the super rich and big corporations is the door out of today's overlapping crises. It's time we demolish the convenient myth that tax cuts for the richest result in the wealth somehow trickling down to everyone else." End quote. Do you think that the wealthy are not taxed the same as we are? Even with that, we are being told that inflation's over, but it's clearly not. And with the aggressive hiking of interest rates, the Fed has done many things. The tech industry has been obliterated, the housing market too, and we're now starting to see layoffs that are comparable to the Great Recession, at least the early onset. And to think that the real rate of inflation may be much higher than what we're being told. Investors may say otherwise. Some economists who deliver the economy's news to you and me on a daily basis, they argue, but the truth of the matter is that the economy is in shambles. We have people with jobs who live in a first world country who are worried about housing, who are worried about being able to pay rent, who are worried about food security, who are worried about not having an extra $500 for an unexpected emergency, who are saving less as time goes by. They're reducing their 401k contributions just to make up for inflation. Is this the American dream still? Or is the dream to work 3 jobs, collect on SNAP benefits, and barely get by? Seems like a bad dream to me. And this just came to me. What about those who rely on food banks? What if the people who used to be able to help and donate can't do that anymore because they now have to focus on their family? How bleak of a future are we in for? Now, here's a great question, and I would really appreciate any participation. When was the last time that you visited Walmart or even Target? How much did you spend and how long did you expect it to last? Now, compare that to just like 2 or 3 years ago, right? Doesn't our $100 feel so much smaller these days? And since consumers can't stretch their cash flow enough, lower demand has also affected retailers across the country. There's actually an entire list of retailers that are closing up stores this year. Now, I'm not going to go through the entire list, but I'm going to cover enough of them just to get the point across. So Target, which has been around for 120 years, is closing 13 of their stores. Now, you might be saying to yourself, it's just 13 stores, Ron. Don't make such a big deal about it. You're just fear mongering. Well, guys, if you've been in business for more more than a century. It's kind of insane to think that you would need to even close one store, let alone 13 stores. But okay, I'll give you that. Walgreens was established around the same time, and they're closing 200 stores. Walmart's closing 154 stores, and they were established back in 1962. What's the point here? It doesn't matter how long you've been in the game. The economy is now at a point where almost everybody loses. And just think of the layoffs that these closures are likely to bring. Think of the nearby stores and restaurants that will likely close too because they were relying on the traffic that Walmart or Target would bring. Now, since we're already talking about food, I did find this article entitled "The Mainstream Media Admits That We Are Facing the Worst Food Crisis in Modern History." While I'm pretty sure a lot of you guys are probably going to say that we have enough food, it is careless to think that everything will be fine, especially under these times. Now, this is a completely different situation compared to years ago. I mean, just look at East Africa. People are experiencing acute food insecurity. And since we're not being told this in the media, our corn harvest is predicted to have its worst year since 2008. It's not just corn though, guys. It's other harvests that have also been disappointing. And this in turn has steadily boosted food prices, and it's likely to continue to do so throughout the year.
Inflation continues to fall, but are people here in the Triangle noticing any difference?
CBS 17's Gilad Malamed is live at the State Farmers Market talking to shoppers. Gilad, what'd you find out?
Well, several shoppers tell me that they prefer the prices here at the State Farmers Market compared to the prices at the grocery store. Inflation numbers released this week show food prices really haven't changed much since last month, but compared to last year, they rose about 10%. At the State Farmers Market, David Robinson says,
"You get a little bit more for your bucks here than the grocery store."
And that's important to him and pretty much all shoppers we spoke to.
Meat, I don't buy meat anymore. I come and get vegetable and eat the vegetable. Meat is out of control.
Farmers Market regular Debbie Thome also prefers the prices here.
Grocery prices have significantly gone up.
While she says rent prices are astounding too when it comes to the economy overall.
I think things are stabilizing.
The latest numbers from the Bureau of Labor Statistics show inflation fell for the 6th straight month.
I hear about it going down, but I haven't seen it.
Helen Wise of Wise Farm says the price of fertilizer and even those plastic bags she packs your produce in are having an impact.
They go up every time we get them. So we have to go up and so we can stay in business.
The average U.S. household is now spending $72 more on food per month compared to a year ago. And to be honest, I think we're probably underselling this number. I have a feeling it's much higher. And in 2023, it's bound to go even higher than that. Kind of makes you wonder how good we had it a few years ago. It's like $5 won't even buy you lunch nowadays. And if it does, it's like miniature sized. But what do you guys think? What's the best meal you can get for $5? Let me know. Now, let me ask you, what would you rather buy if money wasn't that much of a problem? If you had financial freedom, what would you do? Would you go to work tomorrow? The next question is, how do we get there, right? I might just be the guy that you need to guide you back to financial freedom. Now, in terms of budgeting, I got you. When it comes to learning to create multiple streams of income through small businesses or side hustles, I got you. If you're an aspiring investor, you want to get into the stock market or real estate, I'm open with the knowledge and feel free to join us over on the Patreon community. This is where we talk about side hustles, creating multiple streams of income, and even starting your first small business. But before I go, please don't forget to drop a thumbs up for the video. Also subscribe for your daily dose of the truth. Appreciate you guys watching. Y'all be safe. I'll see you on the next one.